Hello and welcome to this session. This is Professor Farhat, in which we would look at lagging economic indicators. In the prior session, we looked at leading indicators. Leading indicators are indicators that help us predict, gives a signal about the future. We also looked at coincident indicator, which measures the present. In this session, we will discuss lagging indicators. Lagging indicators confirm the past. Think of lagging indicators as looking in the rear view mirror. Or if you want to stay with the same analogy, the GPS, now you have arrived and now you're looking at the trip, you are reviewing the trip information. You did arrive to your destination. A lagging economic indicator is an economic measure that changes after the economy has already changed direction. So we're already into, for example, into a recession, and here business and economists, or we are out of the recession. Here the businesses and the economists use those indicators to verify whether we went through an economic expansion, a recession, or the recovery is real and sustained. Now we have confirmed information. It was not a temporary fluctuation. So those are what we call the lagging. They lag in time. They come after to confirm what just happened. The key characteristic of lagging indicators is they change after the economy changes. They confirm existing economic trends, filter out temporary or seasonal fluctuation, and they help analysts determine whether a trend is long lasting. So it's not something temporary. And specifically, we are going to discuss 7 lagging indicators. Now keep in mind, those are 7. It doesn't mean those are the only ones. Those are the major ones. Each different industries might have different indicators. Remember, indicators are just signals, but those are pretty comprehensive, or they represent a broad umbrella for all companies. And what are they? Average duration of unemployment, prime lending rate, commercial and industrial loan outstanding, which is loan balances, consumer installment relative to personal income divided by personal income, unit labor cost, inventory divided by sales, and service price inflation. And those indicators are broken into 3 categories: labor dynamics, capital and credit, and operation and pricing category. So in this session, as just like in every session, once I have a list of items, what do? I cover each item separately, starting with the average duration of unemployment. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, FarhatLectures.com.
My AI turns any lecture into a complete study system. You can create summary table, formulas, and example from each lecture. Flashcard builds from the lesson itself. A quiz build on the lesson, and as a bonus, convert any lecture into a portable short audio on the go. So it helps you with the retention. No noise, no generic responses, just clarity based on that specific lecture. Don't just watch, interact, test yourself, and retain the material using Farhat AI. Now go to FarhatLectures.com now and see how the AI can help you understand, practice, and retain the material.
The average duration of unemployment is a lagging indicator. Now don't confuse average duration of unemployment with the initial unemployment filing. Many students make this mistake. They confuse. Once they say unemployment, they're thinking about the initial claim, or which is a leading indicator, or they're thinking about employment, which is a coincident indicator. This is the average duration of unemployment. What is it? What does it measure? It measures the average number of weeks unemployed individual remain without a job. How long are you staying without a job? Now, why is this a lagging indicator? When a recession hits, companies will start to lay off employees. Great. Now keep in mind, those employees, they may take a month off and they will start to look for a job. They may prepare the resume during that month, take a break, attend interviews. But the longer this time takes to find a job, the longer the average duration of employment is, the stronger is the evidence that we are in a severe labor market weakness. And the opposite is true. If the average duration of unemployment is shorter, we are not. But the longer it is, the average duration, the worse off we are. Now, everything that I say, the opposite is true of it. So, displaced employee remain unemployed for several months before finding new roles. The duration peaks long after the initial wave of layoff. So, after you get the initial layoff, we're counting how long it's taking on average to find a job. And the longer that duration, the worse off we are, and the more we confirm that we are in real weakness, which is, that's why it's a lagging indicator, or we are not. We are going through an expansion if the average duration is 2 weeks versus 6 months. It makes a difference. So the longer, the weaker we are, and it confirms what's happening in the economy. The second indicator is the prime lending rate. And what's the prime lending rate? It's the interest rate used by banks when lending to financially strong customers. Now, why is this a lagging indicator? This is a lagging indicator because banks don't immediately change their lending rate when the economy shifts. They don't do it immediately. So as when the economy shifts, the overall market rate will go down. Then the government might intervene, make some policy changes. Then the prime rate that the bank charges will drop like a cliff. When this change, it's already, we're already into a recession, because they don't do it immediately. They do it every several months after declining market interest rate. And why do they lower it? Because at this point, most likely the government lowered the overall interest rate to jumpstart the economy. As a result, they lower the prime rate. Again, what happened when they increase the prime rate? The opposite is true. When the economy is going through an expansion, we don't want the economy to heat up. We increase interest rate. So again, everything that I say, the opposite is true. And the signal it confirmed earlier, systematic shift in financial condition. It tells us what's happening. So the prime rate comes after the economic slowdown or the economic expansion when it shifts up. The third lagging indicator is commercial and outstanding loan, basically balance loan. The loan balance is going, guess what? Going up. The amount of money that businesses borrows from the bank goes up. Why? Because when sales decline for a company, when sales decline, you don't immediately lay off your employees and stop buying. What you do, you still have to pay your employees, pay your supplier, pay your rent. So what do? If you're not selling, you would start to borrow. You'd say, this is a temporary glitch. Let me borrow money to survive this period. And you will stop paying down your loan because you're using or basically making the minimum payment to use the money to survive from day to day. So as the loan balance goes up, especially relative to sales, why are the companies doing that? Because they need this official cash support until sales go back up. So when loans balance outstanding go up, and at the same time we see that sales going down, companies are using loan basically as a temporary fix to what? To survive this period. The fourth indicator is the consumer installment credit relative to personal income. So we're taking the installment credit. It's the relationship between the consumer debt and household income. Again, this is a lagging indicator. Why? Because consumer will stop making new purchases during a recession. They simply, when things are bad, you stop making new purchases. However, you must continue paying off your loans, auto loans, personal loans, credit card loan. But at the same time, your household income might decline. You might lose your job. That's part of it. Because that remains while income falls, the ratio stays high long after the economy slows down. So think about a typical household. The consumer installment credit is 1,000 and your personal income is 2,000. This is 0.5. Now, if your personal income goes down to 1,000, then this number goes up to 1. So as this increases, it shows that we are in a slowdown. Why? Because the consumer installment credit balance relative to personal income is going up. So it could be the installments stay the same, your income goes down. Or your income stays the same and you're borrowing more, that's the same problem. It will increase this ratio. So household reduce new purchases during a downturn, but they continue to owe debt from purchases made in prior period. So a high ratio confirms sustained household financial strength. Again, a lower ratio, if you could lower this ratio, it means, what does it mean, lower ratio? Low ratio means it's either you have more personal income or you are paying off your debt, lower consumer debt relative to personal income. So, you want to know whether it's higher or lower. So when it goes up, it's bad. It means we are going through a rough patch. We went actually through a rough patch. We're going through it because these are what type of indicators? Lagging indicators. The fifth lagging indicator is the unit labor cost. What is that? Labor cost required to produce 1 unit of output. So you pay labor for what? To produce. Labor compensation relative to total output. Why this is considered a lagging indicator? Businesses usually cannot reduce wages immediately. They don't want to reduce wages immediately. Usually they wait a little bit. Sometimes because employment contract, sometimes union agreement, sometimes salary commitment. Sometimes they fear if they let people go, then they have to rehire them. It costs more money. So if production falls, think about production. If the production falls and the payroll stay the same, relatively unchanged, what happened to your cost per unit? Your cost per unit increase. Because what's happening is you are paying employees, but you are not being able to sell the units. So, or you're not producing. If you're not selling, you're not producing. So if you were spending $1,000 to produce 1,000 unit, so it was costing you $1 per unit. Now, let's assume your production goes down to 500 and you still have to pay $1,000. Now your cost per unit is $2. Your cost per unit double. So when your cost per unit doubles, when it goes up, it means you are not being efficient. At least you're not being efficient. And the reason is you cannot reduce your cost relative to your labor. You cannot reduce your labor cost relative to the units produced. The sixth lagging indicators is inventory to sales. You take your inventory and you divide it by sales. Basically, this is a turnover. You're measuring the relationship between the inventory available for sale and current sales. So when sales decline, what happened? Inventory usually don't go away because why? You order inventory before and now sales slowed down, but the inventory might continue to arrive. So as sales fall where inventory remain high, this ratio will go up. So your inventory goes up and your sales stay the same or go down. So when you take your inventory, let's assume your inventory was 1,000 and your sales was 2,000. So your ratio is 0.5. Now let's assume your inventory is still 1,000, but your sales goes down to 1,000. This ratio goes up to a 1. It means your inventory is not turning. Your inventory is not turning. What does that mean? It means you have more inventory relative to sales. It means you're not selling. So supply chain rely on momentum. Sales declines first, but inbound shipment keeps arriving, causing inventory to remain high while sales shrink. When this goes up, I'm just telling you, companies are not selling. And what do? At this point, companies will put things on sale. They give you discounts, try to turn over their inventory to get rid of the inventory. So inventory to sales ratio. And when we say something to something, it means take that number divided by the other number. If the inventory keeps coming and you cannot sell it, that ratio will go up because inventory in the numerator, it's going to increase that ratio relative to sales. The seventh lagging indicator is the service price inflation. What's the service price inflation? We're dealing with services. The rate of price increases specifically within the service sector. What's the service sector? Accounting, dental, legal, insurance contract, rent, leases, wage agreement. Why is this a lagging indicator? Service businesses often have long-term expenses like office leases, insurance contract, equipment financing. And these costs change slowly because once the agreement is set, it could be set for a year or two. So service provider will continue increasing prices even after the economy slows down. For example, if you have let's assume a dental clinic or a doctor, they will continue raising patient fees because it's long-term lease and insurance costs remain high. It cannot be changed quickly. So higher prices reflect inflationary pressure from earlier period rather than current economic conditions. So that's, this reflects and confirms inflationary pressure created in earlier economic cycle. So those are 7 lagging indicators. Remember, we have leading indicators, we have coincident indicator, and we have lagging indicators. Let's take a look at this multiple choice questions from Farhat lectures. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. Meridian Bank is attempting to confirm whether a slowdown that began several months ago has developed into a broader contraction. Which combination would provide the strongest lagging confirmation? So here you're looking to figure out, do we have a lagging indicators to confirm that we have a broader contraction? The economy is not expanding, it's contracting. A, falling building permits and declining stock prices. Well, falling building permits is bad news, but building permits is a leading indicator. It's not a lagging indicator. We start with falling building permits, then things will follow. A is out. Rising initial unemployment claim and declining new orders. They have to be careful. Rising initial unemployment claim. Initial unemployment claim is that first week when the person loses their job and they file. It's initial unemployment claim. Yes, that could happen, but if that individual was able to find a job a week later, then basically we don't have a problem. But rising initial unemployment, it's also a leading indicator, not a lagging indicator to confirm. Increasing average duration of unemployment and rising inventory to sales. Yes, this is a lagging indicator. Remember that individual that filed for unemployment and initially we thought this is just a leading indicator? Then this individual 6 months later, they cannot find a job. This is an increasing average duration of unemployment. And if inventory is increasing relative to sales, rising inventory to sales, it means what? It means either we're selling less or we're buying inventory that we cannot sell it. And either way, we are in a contraction. So I would say C is the correct answer choice. Increasing industrial production, that's a positive thing. That's a positive thing. And rising business sales, that's a positive thing. And those are coincident indicators. What should you do now? Whether you are a CPA exam candidate, accounting student, the best investment you can make is invest in yourself. Go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional resources, multiple choice, true, false, simulations, cases, AI. For example, on AI, you can ask AI to explain this topic, explain the correct and incorrect answer, and create a similar MCQ for you. The best investment you can make is invest in yourself. God bless.